Hey Flosstube, welcome back. I wasn't sure I was gonna be here this soon, but feeling a little bit up and down, but more up than down. And my husband and my son has traveled to another city today to go visit some friends, and I thought that I would use the opportunity to actually get a Flosstube. I want to thank you all for all the lovely comments I got on my last video. I feel truly blessed when so many people care about me, that people can care so much about each other even though we haven't met in real life. That is truly a big blessing for me. So, as you can see of the description of this video, I am gonna do a WIP Parade. I have written my notes down for the WIP Parade, so you will get them in the order from my latest WIP to my newest WIP. Before I go to my WIP Parade, I just wanted to show you a little bit of haul and a little bit of stitchy kindness that I got. Haul, Crafty Kitten, and a Moss Rose Opalescent. It's a 32 count Murano and it shows up real to life. A little bit of pink in the green and a lot of sparkle. So got that of one of her Facebook sales. My Victorian motto sampler floss arrived, so I did get my, I think it's the May month I have gotten of her floss. Most of them you have seen before. I really like this dark one. It's equal to 3371 dark brown. Also this pink burgundy, just a lovely color. So love those. And with the monthly floss, Nancy was so kind that she sent the Eliza Bellcox floss pack together with my monthly, so I don't have to pay that much in shipping. So here is all the floss for the Eliza Bellcox SAL. As you know, I'm not doing the Eliza Bellcox SAL, but I am doing Tapestry by Ink Circle. I and Sarah, the Stitchy Mommy, is going to start that one most likely in July, I think, maybe June. I'm not sure if we have set a date. So, and we are going to use some of the floss from this Eliza Bellcox sampler. Stitching Mommy has already converted hers. There is a big chance that I will just use her conversion. But I just want to see for myself and do the floss toss and everything. So that will be happening, because I might use some of the floss from my monthly subscriptions to Victorian Motto samplers. So and I did win a giveaway on Flosstube, the Aussie Stitcher Solday. She usually give away patterns from magazines that are ripped out, just like Michelle Bendy Stitchy are doing, and little snips. And nobody else but me wanted this one, so I won it. So it's just a baby sleeping, and I have a lot of people around me having babies soon, so I was thinking maybe doing this as a baby sampler. So have to look into that later. I already have a bunch of starts already planned. I was shopping at my sewing shop. They have like sewing machines and a whole bunch of fabrics, and so I bought myself a mat to cut fabric, like a quilting mat, and the rollers that you use to cut. Some good tools for when I start finishing. Just some black sewing thread, because I use way too much black when I sew. Everything can go with black in my head. So, and I was also, that is the same store where they sell the Mill Hill beads and the other beads that I can get locally. And I think I found out that the beads are just called Gutterman, as it says here. It's the same brand that the Floss comes in. And I bought some blue ones. Wasn't really thinking about the numbers, because I have a whole lot of projects where I have been thinking it would be nice having some blue beads. This one. So I bought just a couple different ones to see what I liked. I also like this one, thinking of the We're All Mad Here Biscornu. That's also one of the ones with the blue beads. And I was thinking maybe purple would look nice. Also, I have ordered these bugle beads for Esmeralda, but at the same time I know most likely I will need to use more in the future, and I like this one, so I was thinking I would try this one out if I can substitute. If it's a good substitution, I will use that instead. Can never have too many beads, right? That's for my haul. I have been bad and spent a whole lot of money on patterns on Etsy, because Etsy is actually going to charge more, taking more of the cut from what sellers do sell, including shipping. Buying from Etsy will get soon more expensive. If you know my punishing method, I should actually start like 10 new projects. I don't think I can do that right now in my mental state, but they will get started, and I have a lot of projects already planned to start, so maybe that will help my consciousness. Those patterns you will see when I start stitching them. Then I also got a Stitchy Kindness. It was wrapped beautifully in this. It's the freebie spring exchange of 2018. And Karen was so nice that she have stitched this one for me, and she finished it beautifully. back. She have put her name here, so I don't want to show the whole name if it's not okay for her, so I'm just covering it. So beautiful, beautiful finish. Will definitely find a place to hang this one up. And with it, she sent this envelope where it says life is beautiful because of you, and I started crying when I got this, when I saw that. That just hit me right where I needed. I also got these lovely stickers. Those will most likely be very nice for finishing, or if I'm doing like other exchange where I make the cards and stuff. And if that wasn't enough, I got this beautiful needle minder saying, "This is my happy place." And yeah, it continues. I got these two kits, Little House Needleworks. I really love the Little House Needleworks, but I have to order them online to get them, so I just haven't found a good place to order from that doesn't have like insane shipping. Usually if I order from the UK, it's okay, but I haven't found anyone in the UK having Little House Needleworks. So I got the Needle Workshop and the coffee shop. So love those. And I got a size 26 bowhand needles. I actually have really wanted to try these, so that was just perfect to get those. And Gloriana silk, and you know me, I love my silk, and this red color it's stunning. I really like it, so we'll definitely find something to use that with. Thank you so much, Karen, if you are watching. It was the perfect gift today, and I wasn't doing this Flosstube, but because of that gift, I got so happy. I just had to share it with you all. Amazing. This community is amazing. I was talking to Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts, and this community is truly amazing. I just love it. So for you guys, what we all have been waiting for. My oldest WIP is Lady and the Tiger. It's actually called forventning in Norwegian. It means expectations, but doesn't like have. I just call it My Lady and the Tiger because that is what everyone remembers. Sad thing happened when I stitched on this, because I have stitched a little bit on this. There has come hole in my fabric, and it is where I will need to stitch. So the Q-snap just, I don't know, the Q-snap like lap stand I have, they have in the bottom part the plastic is a little bit thick in the ends. So if you don't get this, the thing you put around to hold the fabric, if you don't get that perfectly centered, obviously what happens is it makes a hole in the fabric because the Q-snap is so sharp at the edge, and if it then lays on that the thicker part, then it gets a hole. But here's where I am with my Lady and the Tiger. What I did for the World Cup challenge is I figured I wanted to give her an eyebrow, so I did. So that's what she's looking like, and in the end she will look like this. So, my baby blanket. The Lady and the Tiger was started around February, March of 2014. I know this because the other baby blanket that I have talked about that I made for my nephew, I started that, the Lady and the Tiger, right after I was finished with the baby blanket. That baby blanket made me want to do like bigger project as full coverage. So this is the one I was planning to stitch for my son. Got really sick when I was pregnant, so I did almost not stitch anything. Have stitched a little bit here and there for the World Cup. So this is, I think, all of it. And what I did was I stitched more on the bunny, and I think I did something in the carrot also, and this swirl and this swirl at the edge. So it's nice to get motivation to get that one out and hopefully finish soon. My next WIP was my big Pokemon project. It will look like this in the end. The stitching size for this one is 100 centimeters by 80 centimeters. I think that's what I had written down, so I think it's correct. I did in my last update show the whole piece, so if you want to see that, go check that one out, because I am just showing the part I am working on right now. So working in this area here. So the way I'm stitching this now is I do this page, this page, this page, this page, this and this page. And that will, when I'm done with that, it will complete the first 3 rows, because I already had this finished, this row. So that was my epic Pokemon. The Lady and the Tiger is stitched on 18 count, and my epic Pokemon is stitched on 14 count Ada. And the baby blanket is just a pre-printed baby blanket. So I'm trying to be better remembering what every detail to say. And next up is my QS Huggable. If you have followed me for a while, you have seen this beauty, this little cutie cute. It's my dragon. It's a heaven and earth design. The artist is Randall Spangler. I did my 100 days of hate on this, and here is where I'm at. So I'm halfway. The first 3 pages is done, and then there is 3 more pages down here. So my plans is in July. This is one of the projects that will come out more. So next up is my memory piece for my friend that ended her own life. I wanted to do a memory piece for her. She was very religious, and she believed that when she died she would become an angel and watch over all of us. So I found mini still here to do. It's artwork by Cindy Nielsen, and this is actually one of the patterns that brought me to Flosstube. The tragic event that happened when we lost my friend made me want to do a memory piece for her. So I was looking and looking, and I ended up finding Heaven and Earth Designs. And when I stumbled upon Heaven and Earth Designs, I suddenly found Flosstube because I was looking at some of the videos that was done of how to park and so on that Heaven and Earth linked to. So I searched for more Heaven and Earth Designs, people doing them, and I found like people saying what you needed to know and so on, and just amazing. And from there on I just stumbled upon Flosstube because I realized people called their videos Flosstube, and I was like, what happens if I search Flosstube? Ended up on Flosstube, found a lot of people I love watching even today, and are still finding more people. So Minnie's still here, and I'm not far on this one. I'm just having done, I think this is the 4th diagonal, yeah. So I'm doing this diagonal parking like Blitz Stitch, but he starts in another corner, so it's more like the same way Stitching Mommy does her diagonal parking. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm that into, I like the way the stitching look, but I'm not sure I like the way to do diagonal parking, the restriction of the 10 by, like you do the 10 in a row on a diagonal. So when this gets out, I will most likely try and stitch a little bit different, but still in a kind of diagonal way. So my QS huggable is stitched on 18 count Ada, and my mini still hair is stitched on 25 count 1/1 easy guide Lugana. So from this is the first project, oh, these two, QS huggable and mini still hair, are both started in 2017. My Lady and the Tiger was 2014, Baby Blanket 2015, Pokemon 2016, then QS huggable 17th of October 2017. Then I did start my mini still hair this the 7th of November 2017, and I actually had 3 more starts in 2017. I discovered Flosstube. So next up is Butterfly Galore, design work by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. It's an Heaven and Earth design, and I started this to try out tent stitching, where you do or half stitches. Still not sure how I feel about it, and here's where I'm at. So that's that one. It's stitched on, I think this is a 28 count, maybe a 32 count, Lugana. So just plain white. Then I had 2 starts in the same day. It was my A Legend of the Sea by Soda Stitch. The fabric is from some mystery linen from a grab bag, and here's where I'm at her. This is one of the pieces that I want to do like blue beads on. There is a lot of like just a stitch here and there in this blue, light blue color. So I was thinking maybe doing them in beads instead, just to bling it up. And I have already done some of my own conversion. I have put some metallics in the fish, and all of her, this is like a bracelet, is all in metallic, and this is a star in her hair. It's in metallic, so doing some metallics and some beads on her. The next one that I started was my Winter Queen by Mirabilia. Thank you, Stitching Mommy. She was a total enabler for all of the seasonal queens. I found a seller that sold every one of them. I ordered every one, and when I got it in the mail, I just got 2 of the patterns. Yeah. And then I realized I had been got a refund on the patterns I didn't get. But the problem was I had a hard time finding the other patterns at a good price. So I did get Winter Queen and Autumn Queen. I found Royal Holiday, and I found Summer Queen, but to this day I have still not found Spring Queen, and the prices they charge for the Spring Queen I am just not willing to pay. So yeah, I will see if I ever get to complete my queens, but for now I'm stitching the Winter Queen, and I just have to do the other ones until I find the Spring Queen, most likely. So I am just covering up the pattern, because when I stitch I have the pattern, my copy of the pattern just right where I easily can see. And here's where I'm at working. This is the edge of the dress here, and now I am working my way down. So I have also started the whisper thread, so here it's a little bit fluffy. So that was my Winter Queen. So now we have come to 2018, and my starts are exploding all over the place. So many starts. I have a bunch of finishes also, so I don't have that many WIPs as I have had starts, but I still have a good chunk of WIPs, as you will see as we continue on. The Winter Queen is stitched on 32 count opalescent cashel linen, I think. Yeah. So the 1st of January 2018, when it just past midnight, so it was exactly 2018 here in Norway, I took out my 3D Maui princess to stitch on. And already now you're most likely scratching your head and be like, have you stitched on that at all? Yeah, that one day. I stitched one day on her and found out that I have so many full coverage pieces. I need to work some more on those before I bring this back out. But I will work on her more this year, hopefully for arbitrary August. Watch Stitching Mommy's second last update or something like that. She tells about it. It stitches on a 32 count Murano Lugana. I actually gridded this myself. As you can see, I think in a way I have stitched longer on this just because the gridding took me a bunch of days to do. And all I have done is this blue right here. So this is the reason I started my Story Keep Butterfly Galore, to see if I like 10 stitch. Didn't like it, so this is also full crosses. If I don't say my stitching is 10 stitch, then it's full crosses. I do only full crosses unless the patterns calls for 10 stitch. So, but I hope still someday that I can find a count and a good count where it's a good amount of threads to stitch 10th and be happy with it. I'm actually tempted to try like Stitching Mommy's 40 count. Full coverage, 10 stitch. And I had to prepare for my Euro whips. So next up is my I Got a Dream. I will insert picture here. I Got a Dream by Frigid Stitch. This is a 16 count Mystery Ada. And here's where I'm at. And I actually have 4 patterns in this style that are different Disney princesses. I have completed my bell, so this is my second, and I have 2 more to do later. I'm doing all of these in, I have converted them to silks that I have from Silks for You. I bought a whole lot of grab bags from Silks for You, plus I have bought some other silks, and I am in the Silks for You Silk of the Month Club. So I'm starting to get a good amount of silks. So here's where I'm at. I'm missing her frying pan and this last word, dream. And she actually will be done. I have done the back stitching in her dress. I wanted first to do it with this gold like. Didn't like how it looked on this brighter pink, so I did the lighter pink back stitching, and her hair was just supposed to be in this lighter pink color, but it didn't stand out on the fabric very much, so I backstitch with that gold yellow I have, just to give her some, just to see her hair better. And I also did like do a half a stitch, so it actually looks like she has that like this in her hair. I looked at the picture where it was and I did it. So that's where she's at. She was started the 9th of January together with the bell that is finished. Then the 10th of January I started my temperature garden. That is a stitch along. The pattern is from Stitching Mommy. You can buy it on Etsy. And here's where I'm at. Have not worked on it lately, and you can see I am way behind. So the 11th of January I started 2 more. The first one was Cinderella in rags. I will insert the picture here. And this is where I am. There is also a Cinderella in riches that is shorted to be like that. The 2 Cinderellas look at each other through the window. So I'm just doing one of them this year and see how far I get on that. So this is just the top of her head and the window. Then I did, on the same day, work on Alice sleeping on a clock. My temperature garden was just a mystery even weave. My Cinderella in rags I hand dyed myself, and it's a 32 count Murano, I think. This is a 14 count Ada I hand dyed myself. Picture. And here's where I'm at. The 12th of January I started being inspired. It's a 14 count Ada hand dyed myself. Here's where I'm at. Started in the middle, worked my way up, and working my way over. So still have a long way to go. Michelle Bendy Stitchy actually finished her recently and it looks amazing. Should get working on that. Then I didn't have a start before February this year. Wow. The 9th I started the Brooks Books Alice series, and I started with the Dormouse, or Dormy as he's called. I have heard a lot of people call him Dormy, so yeah. And this one I am doing on 18 count Ada, hand dyed by myself, and I am planning to do all 12 of them on one big fabric. Big, long. So here's where I'm at. In April, the 15th of April, I started my 4 in the Bush. It's a freebie by Ink Circles. If I find a picture, and it's done on 40, 46 or 48 count Morning Coffee by Extrude Design, and I'm stitching it in silks from you. So I'm using this is PB or PR70, I think, and this is from a grab bag, this variegated one. So it's actually charted to be 4 different colors inside of the black, but I'm doing it just in one variegated floss. So I'm about soon halfway on that. Next is we're in May. You know, there was a lot of starts in May. That's pretty recently. The ones that are still WIPs. The first one is Esmeralda. She was started on the 6th of May. The designer is Hannah Alexander, and it's charted by Pinky the Pink on Etsy. And here's where I'm at. She will not use all this fabric, so I just started on the edge with, I think, a 2-inch border. So that's where I'm at. Done some of the oval and some of her dress. Then I started Final Fantasy VII from Cloud's Factory on the 20th of May. And here's where I'm at. I have worked a good days on the World Cup on this, and will work some more because Final Fantasy VII just fitted a lot of the themes. So next up was my Storytime sampler stitch along from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's a stitch along that was, I think, last year or something. So I started this on the 23rd. It's an 18 count Ada hand dyed by myself. And I have done Peter Pan. So this is June. I technically started this in June, so that's why I only have the June block. In May, I just started the borders to prepare for June. And I also started the Easter Egg Stitch Christmas Bubbles, but the first one I'm finished with, so technically that comes later because I'm on the second one. So now we're on the Evolution, started the 28th of May. We'll insert a picture here. It's actually called The Possibilities. It's on Heaven and Earth design, and here's where I'm at. This is a 28 count easy count. Doing it full crosses, 1/1, and I'm working it on my type of diagonal so far. So this is like, I did test out this diagonal way, and I'm most likely going to do it on the mini still here. So the black is actually converted to anchor black. This is the regular version and in max color, so it's gonna be confetti, it's gonna be massive. Go big or go home. Next up was the 31st. I started the Joan Elliott baby sampler. Looks like this. And here's where I'm at. This blue is the edge of the bird's hat. Next up is my dragon dragon. It's a coaster project that I'm working on. The dragon is from Fuzzy Fox Design. So I actually started this one in the 3rd of June, but I finished the first one, as you can see, and I started my second one this 8th of June. And it's on the same fabric as Alice. That's basically why I started this one, is so I will stitch these two and then I can make the Alice in Wonderland We're All Mad Here Biscorner from Cloud's Factory into Biscorner. And last, the 11th of June, I started my second Mr. X Stitch Christmas baubles. The first one looks like this, and the second one has just a tiny sort like this. I also bought a primitive stitch. Yeah, that's fun. The primitive here, the black pearl, she is called. It's a mermaid. If I find a picture, I will insert it here. And Link is my homeboy on Instagram. I think her name is Heather. She is planning to do that as her birthday SAL, the 10th of October. So people will have a good amount of time to buy what they need to stitch it. There's a lot of from me today. As I said, this was an impulse Flosstube from my side, so I used like 15 minutes finding everything, writing down my notes as fast as I could, try to sort everything so I didn't have to take it up and out of the plastic bags on my WIPs. And I just did it. So thank you so much, guys, for all the support. The stitching community is amazing. Everyone is leaving me such lovely comments, and I promise you some of those comments has got me out of bed these days. So I truly appreciate it. We are going on holiday soon, taking a little vacation. So if you don't see me, it's not because, most likely it's not because I'm so super ill or something. It's because I'm on vacation and my family is on vacation. So I don't think I will get the chance to post much. So from now until the middle of August, we just have to take it month by month and see what I can get up of Flosstubes. As you probably have just imagined or seen, I have a lot of Flosstube planned that I want to do, like tutorials, demonstrations, stitch alongs. I have to do the Emily C tag soon. That's one of the recently tags going around, and I have a whole lot of other tags that I want to do, and I need to stitch some more. But lately I haven't had that much of a stitchy bug. So I have stitched like half an hour and put it away and gone up and played on my computer. At the evenings I have stitched some stitches and then put it away and just eaten a lot of snacks. My husband has a lot of snacks when he watches football, so probably I will like gain 10 kilos or something just this summer. I'm eating way too much snacks, but well. I can't think of anything more. The problem I can't finish this video is I feel like there's something I have not said that I should say, but I think I'm going to finish this now. Thank you so much for keeping me company. It has been an enjoyment for me to be talking to you and showing you all of my WIPs. My biggest problem is now I want to do and stitch on all my WIPs. I can't do that. So maybe this has helped me getting my stitching bug back. I will see when I sit down to stitch. Just thank you so much for being you. Don't let anybody change who you are. And yeah, because all of you guys out there is a part of the stitching community, and the kindness and the love you are sending out. Even though I'm not religious, I'm like, when I hear people say that they send a prayer my way, it warms my heart so much, just because of the thought that somebody cares so much about you. You know? You probably know. And when people send the best wishes and so on, you're amazing. You truly are. And I think I'm gonna end this before I start crying again. So thank you so much for watching and commenting. I love all your comments. And lately I have really tried to be better about commenting myself. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.